Hello, my name is Keely. Thank you so much for joining me today. I wanted to teach you how to make a t-shirt scarf. It's so simple, and you can really make it very quickly. You don't have to know how to sew. All you're going to need is a t-shirt that has no designs on it, just plain colored. Also, you'll need to have a good pair of scissors and a hot glue gun. You'll also need some kind of embellishment, maybe a ribbon or just something to sort of finish off the edge. I'm currently wearing one. This is brown. I'm going to stand up so you can see how it does. This is it when it is full length. You could also take and double it up around your neck like this if you like to have a look that is a little bit more up around your neck. This is a great scarf for the summer or the fall. It isn't very good for keeping you warm, so this wouldn't really be a wintertime scarf unless you just want it for maybe like embellishing your clothing. This is one I made in blue, and as you can see there is a little decoration right here. This is a very simple thing to do. I'm going to teach you how to do that right now. I have an old t-shirt. Unfortunately, this t-shirt has some holes in it, so this is why I'm going to be sacrificing this beautiful shirt today. And I also have a pair of scissors. And the first thing I'm going to do, you'll want to do this on a table, not necessarily in your lap, is you're going to go right underneath of the armhole and you're going to cut off that part of the shirt. The lines do not have to be straight. It's okay if they're not. And you'll just sort of cut all the way across underneath of the armholes. Okay, and so you're left with just this part, the bottom half of your t-shirt. This particular shirt has a band at the bottom. You can leave a band if you had one, or you could also cut it off. It just depends on how thick you want your shirt to be. I'm going to cut it off today because I think that it might be best for consistency's sake. So that's what I'm going to do now. Just cut off that hemline. And it doesn't have to be precise in the way that you cut. T-shirt material is very flexible and stretchy and just kind of goes back into shape. Okay, so I cut off this really thick bottom that I had, and this is what I'm left with. The next thing you're going to do is I have a seam side and another seam side. If you have a t-shirt that doesn't have seams, I actually suggest that you use t-shirts that don't have seams. They look more finished. What you'll do is you'll just start cutting. Start one side, okay, that is together, and you're going to start cutting 1-inch strips. And you just cut that all the way down, sort of 1-inch strips, maybe 3/4 inch. You don't have to measure, and it doesn't need to be precise, but that's just an idea for you to know how thick to cut it. And then I cut all the way to the very tip, but I don't cut it off. Okay, so you see how I did one strip? And I'm going to do that again. I will do that all the way across my t-shirt until I have strips all the way down, and I'll show you what that looks like in just a second. So now I've cut my second strip, and you can see that I did not go all the way to the edge. You want to leave about 1/2 inch to 1 inch at the very end so that you can gather it up at that place. Alright, and I probably have about maybe 3 more cuts that I have to do. Just be sure that you leave at the end the section so that you can gather it. And I'll show you what that step looks like in just a minute. Like I said, I suggest that you do this on a table. It's actually kind of difficult here in your hands. And the quality of your product will look a lot better if you are to make the sections a little bit more even. Okay? So this isn't quite the widths that I would prefer. I'd like for them to be a little bit closer to here, but for the sake of this video, these are a little bit thicker. That'll be okay. You're going to open up your shirt right where that line is that you left, and you're going to go all the way down. So now I've gathered it at that section in which I left, without cutting. And here is my strings. The next thing you have to do is stretch it. T-shirt material is very stretchy, and when you stretch it, it will sort of roll up on itself and create these little lines. So this particular scarf, I'm just going to stretch. Okay. And you're almost done at this point. Right here, where you had that gathered up part, you're going to need to put something around it. I have a pink ribbon. I probably wouldn't use pink ribbon with this blue. It's just what I had lying around so I could show you. And I would wrap this pink ribbon around that section so that you can't see the seam lines. Then I would take my hot glue gun and I would just glue it. Make sure that it's in place, and your scarf is done. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave me a message in the comments and I'll get back to you.